I love being pregnant. I'm just gonna put it out there. Not the first trimester, and no. I love just knowing what's going on inside my body, the fact that I'm growing our little human that's half me and half my favourite person in the world. And yeah, I'm living for it, I'm here for it. Hello, welcome to week 16 of being pregnant. As you can tell, I'm feeling even better again. How are you feeling, little man? I can even tolerate your breath. Which is fantastic because that means I'm getting all the Toby cuddles again. But yeah, we are officially 16 weeks pregnant, and we're actually coming towards the end of 16 weeks, so week 16 is completed and I'm feeling really good. I am feeling so good, which feels great to be able to just say as well. Yeah, my sickness is pretty much gone. I have like the odd day where I feel sick during the day a little bit, and then the odd evening where it's still sort of creeping up on me from about 9 p.m. until bedtime, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. It's manageable and I can eat. I can eat and I can drink water and stay hydrated. It's fantastic. So yeah, it genuinely has made me feel incredible. And I also feel like I've got I feel like I've got myself back. I feel like I've got my motivation, my creativity. It's really nice to be going outside again and seeing my friends again and doing things again. It's just, yeah, it's lovely. I do feel like I might have overdone it the last sort of 5 days or so, because I think when you're stuck inside, like pretty much stuck to the sofa for 2 months, can't eat, can't do anything, feeling horrendous, when you finally start to feel good again, you're just like, I want to do everything. So I think I overdid it a little bit with like too much exercise and walking and just stuff. And I felt like yesterday, yeah, I think I need to just have a quieter day today and just sort of let my body rest, which I did. And then again today I feel a lot better. So it's finding that balance, I think, between staying active, because I am loving that. Don't get me wrong, like I'm not going to be joining CrossFit or doing anything extreme or anything that I wasn't doing before, but just being able to get my steps in and doing some like light body weight exercises, obviously pregnancy safe ones, to help strengthen my back and kind of prepare it for all of the weight that's going to be going on the front. Because if you follow for a while, you'll know that I had really bad back problems in the past, so I'm a little bit concerned about that, so trying to sort of be proactive in that regard. But yeah, doing that kind of stuff and stretching. Like I went to a pregnancy yoga class last week with my friend and it was really lovely. I struggle with yoga a lot because I struggle with the shutting my brain off part of it. But I loved the stretch and it was really nice to be in a room full of other pregnant people. It kind of felt like sort of, yeah, really quite empowering. I liked that. So I might look into, it was a little bit far away from me, so I might look into see if there's any close by here. They seem really expensive though, like they seem quite pricey, sort of like £10 a class, but I did enjoy it, so I think that might be something that I might sort of invest in moving forwards. So yeah, I feel a lot better. Had my flu jab the other day actually. Chris and I both went for a flu jab on the same day because he's got asthma, so he has his. And he's felt absolutely fine after his flu jab. But for me, it did kind of knock me for six a little bit. I definitely sort of felt like I had like a light flu, heavy cold for a couple of days afterwards, which was a bit rubbish. But I suppose because being pregnant, like your immune system's a little bit lowered, isn't it? So it kind of makes sense that it didn't really affect him, but made me feel a little bit rubbish. Sorry, we went to puppy yoga the other day. Took Chris to puppy yoga and I just realised I wore this jumper and Toby is sniffing me like crazy. Can you smell the puppies? You are the only dog for me, I promise. It's very cute. But yeah, we've been doing stuff like that. We've been going to like puppy yoga and we went out for a Sunday roast, and me, mum and dad and Chris went looking around a pram shop the other day as well, which was very cute. Do you mind? That's gonna be very distracting throughout this whole video. Yeah, so we went looking at travel systems and prams the other day, which was very overwhelming. There's lots. So I've been sat doing lots of research since we went in there and like had our initial look at stuff. And then I found like a bigger one close by that does all the brands that I think we're gonna go and visit this weekend and really like properly take a look, because the first time you go into one of those shops, you're just like, oh my God, there's so many prams. What on earth am I looking for? So the lady was a little bit pushy for me, and it like made me back off a little bit. Like I'm really conservative with big purchases. I don't know, like I have to do loads of research and feel completely comfortable before buying something big. And obviously prams and travel systems are very expensive and you're going to be using it for a long time. So it's a big decision. And I kind of felt like she was pressuring us, and she was just like, it felt like she was saying you should have already ordered one like 5 months ago before you even knew you were pregnant. It was a little bit extreme, but we did pick up on some useful tips and things that we might want. And I've had a look online, and Chris has been researching car seats and stuff. So we kind of have a rough idea what we might want. And I feel a bit more prepared going into this big shop this weekend. Obviously we're going to take Mum with us because she is just very knowledgeable about this stuff, and she's so excited as well. She just wants to do all of the things with us, and it's really sweet. It's lovely. Like we actually went for another scan last week as well. I feel like I've got loads to fill you in on. But yeah, we went for another scan, 16-week scan, because I don't know, it's just this 2 months between the 12-week scan and the 20-week scan is a really strange limbo period, because my symptoms are disappearing and I genuinely feel like myself most days, aka I don't feel pregnant and baby isn't kicking yet, and I'm not feeling any flutters or anything yet. Because we found out at the scan at the weekend that I've got, is it an anterior placenta where the placenta's on the front? So I won't feel kicks or flutters until a little bit later than some other people, or most of the people, because baby's got to kick through the placenta and through my tummy for me to be able to feel it, if that makes sense. So yeah, until you start feeling the kicks, and without your pregnancy symptoms, which don't get me wrong, I'm very glad that nausea is gone, I'm not complaining, but it just feels really weird. Like I keep saying to Chris, like, I don't feel pregnant today. I don't feel pregnant, and it's very strange. So we decided to book in for another scan. I think it was like £45, a small clinic near us, and they were really friendly, they were lovely. We kind of thought, if you know, £22.50 each or whatever, it's the price of a takeaway. It's worth it for the reassurance. Just until you start feeling those kicks and whatever. But yeah, we went this weekend, and Mum and Dad were like, can we come? And we were like, oh my God, yeah. And Dad was so excited because he hasn't seen the scans before, and they were just, to be able to see baby again. And they were super wriggly. Oh my goodness me, they were wriggling around. I read somewhere that if you eat a chocolate bar 30 minutes before a scan, it can make them quite active. So I had a little Dairy Milk chocolate bar before we went, and I think it worked because they were dancing in there, like rolling around and kicking and punching and sucking their thumb and stuff. It was bonkers. But yeah, it was so lovely to see baby, but it was also really lovely for Mum and Dad to be there and see baby as well. And you know, if Chris's mum and dad lived anywhere near us, they don't, they live like 8 hours away, they would have definitely come along too. Like, I just think it's really lovely for us to be able to share that experience with grandparents. I know that for a lot of people they just want it to be just you and your partner, which we've had for the majority of our scans so far, but it was just really, really nice to be able to share that with them the weekend and get the reassurance that baby is still in there, baby is still okay, baby's still growing, baby's still moving, and also to now know that I have my anterior placenta as well. Excuse me. Also to know that I have that anterior placenta, it kind of just helps you manage expectations in regards to how soon we might sort of feel the kick. So it might be that it's more towards weeks 19, 20 instead of 16, 17 where you can start to feel things. So yeah, it's kind of helped me just relax on that front, I guess, for a little while. Overall, I feel like it's a really happy, calm, joyous experience. You know, like we're really settling into it, we're really enjoying it, and yeah, just taking it in really as much as possible. The only thing we've got to be careful of is you climbing on people, haven't we? Yeah, it's been really good actually. Toby is such an affectionate dog and he loves cuddles and he does like evade personal space, but we've been really strict on teaching him not to climb on people's tummies and stuff right from the beginning, and he's learnt so quickly. Like, don't get me wrong, he still stands on your legs and tries to like sit in your lap and like get as close as possible, but he doesn't go anywhere near your tummy unless he's putting his chin on mine. I feel like he can definitely sense baby in there and definitely sense, or maybe even start to hear them, I don't know, but he knows because he just puts his chin on my tummy, and sometimes his little paw, oh, it's the cutest thing ever. But yes, my bump, let me show you, let me do a little bump update. I was taking some pictures today actually, if I can show you. I feel like it's definitely getting there now. I feel like whenever I show you on these, it doesn't look that big, but then I took my pictures this morning and I feel like it's a big bump. Just kind of, whenever I do these, it just looks like I've had a big lunch. I've had my bowl of cereal today, and that's about it. But that is pretty much bump. That is bump there. There's a bit of bloating going on at the top. If I breathe in, you can see baby's house is kind of just there. And it's definitely coming. Just went upstairs to get things to show you and I'm so out of breath. That's another thing that I think is going to happen throughout the whole pregnancy. Very out of breath with the slightest of things. And headaches, still getting my headaches and stuff, and my back is creaking a little bit, but I think again that might be just because I've started to move more, having not moved for quite a while. But apart from that, there's no real ailments to talk about at the moment. I feel like again we're in the sweet spot, so I'm sure there's plenty of stuff coming my way, but for now I'm just enjoying being in like feeling semi-normal camp. And yeah, cravings wise, I haven't really, there's nothing that sticks out. It's just mostly stuff where if I see it, I have to have it. Like, stupidly the other day, I saw somebody walk out of Marks and Spencer's eating this Mexican bean wrap that I used to have for lunch when I was feeling fancy, when I worked at Argos, right? And I used to walk into town, and on the days where I was feeling spenny, didn't go to Boots for the meal deal, went to Marks and Spencer's. And there was this Mexican 3-bean wrap, this vegetarian wrap thing that I used to love from there. Haven't had one since I had my Saturday job, so we're probably talking about like 12 years ago. And I saw somebody walk out of Marks and Spencer's eating this wrap. Boom, pregnancy craving. That was it. Couldn't shake it. Had to go to M&S. They'd sold out. So the next day had to go into town and hunt one down until I got one. But let me tell you, when I ate that sandwich, it was the best thing. I can't explain it. If you have a craving for something and you get it, it tastes like the best food you have ever eaten. And it's on a different level to when you just crave something normally and get it. Pregnancy cravings, they are on a different level. I've never experienced it before. So yeah, it's mostly just stuff that I see at the time and think, oh yeah, I really want that. Rather than being sat at home thinking, I would love to eat X, Y, Z. I'm very much a see it, need it kind of stage at the moment. Happened with crumpets, happened with the Mexican bean sandwich, happened with something else as well, I can't remember. It was something really random. Maybe a chicken royale from Burger King. I think I saw it on a sign and I was like, oh my God, need one. We don't have a Burger King near us, so that one I'm still working on. But yeah, it's kind of like a see it, need it kind of thing with the cravings. I am eating more chocolate, have to say. Like, I like chocolate, I enjoy chocolate, but I wouldn't call myself a chocoholic. Like, it's not something that I have every day. if I fancy it, I enjoy it, but I can take or leave it. Whereas I feel like I'm craving it a lot more often in this pregnancy. Like if somebody was to say to me now, do you want a chocolate bar? I'd be like, oh yeah. Whereas normally I'd just be like, no, I'm all right, thanks. So is that a craving? I don't know. But yeah, I'm just trying to be really mindful about what I'm eating, trying to get all the good stuff in. I do seem to be wanting healthy things again, which is really, really good. It felt like at the start, before the sickness came in, I was craving healthy stuff and I was starving all the time. And it feels like I'm back in that. Like I'm craving healthy things like vegetables and fruit and like good food. Also craving the junk food as well. But like overall, I'm really satisfied with healthy stuff. Like it tastes really good for me at the moment, but I'm just starving all the time, like really hungry. And I think it would be very, very easy for me to overeat. So I'm just, again, trying to find that perfect balance between getting enough nutrition and getting the good stuff and eating enough versus overeating stuff that my body doesn't need. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to find that perfect balance, which is hard when you're hungry all the time, but I feel like I'm getting there. Last thing I wanted to show you. So all my apps keep saying that baby can hear now. I think at the moment it's kind of like muffled sounds, but baby can hear. So all of the apps are saying maybe you might like to try reading to your bump. So the other day we went into town, Chris and I were in town, and we went into Waterstones and we were like, shall we go and buy some like children's books? Which I know is silly because Bump cannot understand. You could read them the back of a shampoo bottle for all they care, or just have a conversation with each other and it would be fine. But we wanted to go and actually buy something. I feel like I don't want to buy anything for baby just yet. I'm still waiting for like, you know, a little like past the 20 weeks, I think. But buying something for Bump felt a little bit different. So we went into Waterstones and we bought two books. We bought the Stomposaurus and There's a Bear in Your Book. And these are ones that we were just drawn to on the shelves. So we've been reading those and we love the Stomposaurus so much that we also bought the Worrysaurus, which is honestly my favourite thing in the world. I feel like I am the Worrysaurus and it's the most heartwarming, lovely book. We flipping love it. And I also, because it was on offer on Amazon when I bought that one, I also bought My Shadow is Pink as well, which is such a lovely book. And then my friend, who is a nursery assistant teacher, works in a nursery, she actually sent through these two books as a little surprise because she was just like, I really wanted to buy you some cute books. She's like, I've got so many recommendations of books that the kids love that I can tell you, but for now I bought you some classics. Dear Zoo, I remember reading this when I was little. The little where you like lift the flaps down and the animals are inside. Oh my god, so cute. And the Gruffalo, which is a classic. This wasn't around when we were kids, so I'd actually never read the Gruffalo, but I know that people love it and talk about it a lot. So yeah, she got us those two, which I feel like this is excessive, right? This is silly because, like I said, Bump cannot understand anything. We could read them whatever and it wouldn't matter, and the majority of these books they are not going to be able to read or understand really until they are a lot older, but it just felt right. I don't know, it was just like a really lovely milestone to go in and look at the books and pick some for us that we thought, yeah, like this is what we want to be reading to our actual child one day. And it just felt really nice to be able to do. So as silly as it is, that's what we've been doing. Stomposaurus is really cute. This is adorable. I love this and I honestly cannot wait to read this with my little toddler. Because it's like really interactive and stuff. It's adorable. And the Worrysaurus, honestly, every time we read this one, Muggin's ear is in tears. I'm blaming the pregnancy hormones, but also it's just, it speaks to me. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Good morning, woman down. Oh my goodness, I'm so poorly.
I'm so poorly right now. I've got like this cold from hell that everybody seems to have right now. I sound awful. I feel awful, to be honest. This is day 6 of this cold, right? It's not COVID. I've been testing all week and it's not COVID. It's just this awful cold that like so many people on Instagram have said I've had this for 2 weeks and it's still kicking my ass. So I hope it doesn't last for 2 weeks. But yeah, I feel rotten. So this is how we've got to do the update this week, and I'm gutted because actually as far as like pregnancy goes and as far as I go, I'm feeling great. Like I'm feeling really, really good. Like my hormones just seem to be in the sweet spot. To be honest, I think right from the beginning, even through the awful first trimester, which obviously was so difficult to get through, like sickness wise, but hormonally, so far during this pregnancy, I really do feel like I've been proper balanced. Like I feel like I've been in the good part of my cycle the whole time, which I'm really liking, because I was worried I was going to feel like I do the week before my period, you know, with like loads of progesterone pumping through my veins. But hormonally, I feel really good. So my mood, aside from, you know, just sort of like everyday things that frustrate you, my mood is genuinely very positive and happy and just kind of chill, really, which is nice. So in myself, I feel great. The nausea's gone. I do occasionally feel sick again at like night time around 11 p.m, which is so weird, right? But it's nowhere near as bad and it's fine, and I can brush my teeth now and I can eat and I can exercise, and yeah, I feel like I'm just like winning at life. But then this bloody cold is ruining my sweet spot of pregnancy. I'm very angry. They say that the second trimester is like the honeymoon period, don't they? The first trimester is horrendous, and the third trimester is rough. So I'm definitely in the good part. So this needs to bugger off so I can just carry on enjoying being pregnant, which I must admit, I very much am enjoying it. I feel like I could cry. I love it. You guys saw me when I was at my worst during that first trimester when I was just really, really struggling, but I still always enjoyed being pregnant, and now I'm able to like really enjoy it because the sickness is gone. I'm living. I am living for this super feminine energy, for seeing my body change, to just feeling all the feels about it. I'm getting so excited, and yeah, like I love being pregnant. I'm just gonna put it out there. Not the first trimester, no, but I love just knowing what's going on inside my body, the fact that I'm growing our little human that's half me and half my favourite person in the world, and yeah, I'm living for it, I'm here for it, but yeah, this cold needs to bugger off so I can properly enjoy it, thanks. The tiredness is okay. Like the first trimester tiredness is something else, like it's crazy. And I genuinely feel like okay now. I feel run down because of this cold, and I'm not sleeping like overly well, again, I think because of the cold and because I'm having like aches and pains now. So like I'll occasionally get woken up with my hips aching if I'm not quite lying in the right position with my pregnancy pillow, which is a godsend, by the way. Chef's kiss, love that pregnancy pillow. Chris does not. He's just like, when can we get rid of this pregnancy pillow? I'm like, I'm never getting rid of it. I love it. I'm gonna sleep with it forever. But it's just so big, it takes up so much of the bed, bless him. But yeah, so sometimes I'll wake up like my hips ache a little bit, or I'm getting like cramps and stuff. I've noticed this week I'm getting cramps, and not really like crampy cramps, but it feels like my tummy is stretching. Like everything just kind of feels like it's like, you know, like creaking and stretching. And apparently, according to my app, baby is gonna be doubling in size over this like 2 weeks. So it kind of makes sense that I feel like everything is expanding, and I really do feel like my bump is expanding now. It's how I got the hiccups. I get the hiccups a lot. Yeah, I really do feel like my bump is expanding. And Chris looked at me the other day, I was like parading around, I was like, look at my bump. I was like, I'm so pregnant. And he was like, look at your belly button. and it's getting very shallow. That's how I would describe it. It hasn't popped out yet, but it's getting very shallow. And like we're coming to the end of 18 weeks, so like 19 weeks or whatever. But week 18, my belly button's starting to get shallow. Am I gonna end, I feel like I'm gonna end up absolutely massive by the end of this. Apparently, Barry babies or big babies. And I was a big baby when I was born, so yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. Cravings wise, still the same as last time. Like, it's just if I see something, I have to have it. My thing yesterday was fruit loaf. Like, you know, like the bread that tastes like hot cross buns, basically. It's like hot cross buns with like fruit in it that you toast and put loads of butter on. Had to go and get a fruit loaf from Aldi at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, I'm on it, I need it, I need this fruit loaf. So that was a recent craving. And oh my God, the first like proper one I had was the other day, chocolate spread on toast, like Nutella. I don't eat Nutella or chocolate spread on toast. It's never something that I'm like, oh, do you know what I fancy? Never. So obviously we don't have any in the house. It was like 10:30 at night. And I was like, Chris, I need some chocolate spread on toast. And he was like, what? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something that I thought about that popped into my head because I was like, oh, I quite fancy some chocolate. Been definitely craving chocolate more. And then I was like, no, I don't want chocolate. I don't want chocolate bar. I want chocolate spread. So we actually had to drive. I went upstairs and got into my clothes and he was like, where on earth are you going? I'm like, I'm going to Tesco. I'm going to get me some chocolate spread. He was like, hang on, I'll come with you. So we went to Tesco at 10:30 at night to buy chocolate spread. And I got this Bon Maman one. It's very fancy. Because I was like literally looking at all these chocolate spreads. I was like, oh, I never buy it. So I was like a kid in a candy store. So I bought this Bon Maman one and felt very posh. And I can confirm it's quite delicious. But I had it once. I had like 2 pieces of it slathered in like this like Nutella stuff. Haven't craved it again. It's literally, it's not like a consistent craving. It's just certain things you want at the time. And it is genuinely like, I don't know if I said this in the last video, but it's genuinely like you've never tasted it before in your life. It's the first time tasting it and it is incredible. I can't describe it. I'm a real foodie anyway, but it's so exciting because it is like the first time you've ever tasted it and it's the best thing you've ever eaten and it's just, it's a fantastic feeling, it really is. So Chris is still buying me my presents every single week and these pyjamas were another present. They're maternity pyjamas. Hang on, let me show you. All of my pyjamas were sitting under my bump and then because the tops are so long, so short, I was walking around with my tummy out like that constantly. I was like, oh, I feel really weird and like my tummy's just poking out all the time. So he bought me these maternity pyjamas from ASOS. Flipping love them, they're so soft and they fit so nice. They sit under your bump and then the top's really long so it covers it and there's room to grow. Amazing. But yeah, so props to Chris for doing for like all of this. He's just, it's so exciting every week to get like a new little prezi and I love it and he's so thoughtful. I got some leggings the other day, some maternity leggings, because I said that I want to go back to the gym with him and we go together. I just do really like body weight stuff, but I feel like I need to work on my squats to help strengthen my glutes and my back and stuff ready because, like I said, I think we're gonna be big. But yeah, this is bump now. Wow. Again, when I do these ones, I feel like it doesn't look as big as it looks in the mirror. But this is, it's morning time. I haven't eaten anything yet. So this is literally what it looks like when I get out of bed in the morning now. Because before, it was, when I'd eaten in the evening, it looked like this. And then, so I was like, oh, the majority of it's just bloating. But this is just my tummy now. This is what it looks like. It's so round, isn't it? So yeah, I'm still waiting to feel baby move. I'm not sure if I felt something the other day. We were watching the new Batman film and I was sat there and I was like, oh, that's a really strange feeling. It kind of felt like popcorn. Like maybe someone was just like doing that, like tap, 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 really lightly on the inside. So it could have been that because everyone says it starts out really faint and it was so faint. That's why I'm not counting it because I can't like say for sure. But I don't know, and I haven't felt it again since really. So yeah, haven't felt the move yet, but I'm really hoping that's going to be soon, because like I said, we're just coming into week 19, so I'd really like to start feeding because I'm very, very excited for that. But I will let you know when it happens. And the other big news, oh my gosh, yes, okay, so told you that we went into that little pram shop. I know it's called a travel system, whatever. We went into the little pram shop and it was very overwhelming. The lady was a bit too intense. And then I came home and I found a place called Pram World near us, which is another family business, but bigger. Had a lot more of the brands that we had initially sort of seen online and thought, oh, they could be good for us. So we went. And it was me and Chris and my mum. My dad was busy, so mum wanted to come with us, and we were like, yes, please, because you know stuff as well. So it'd be really handy to have a third opinion. So mum came along with us, and I have to, oh my God, it was like chalk and cheese experience-wise between Pram World and the original one. Like, Pram World was so good. I had the most amazing experience, and I was like on cloud 9. It was exactly what I wanted from like a shopping trip, to look at this kind of stuff. They were fab. There was, I found on their website that you can book a personal shopping experience that's literally free. It's just an appointment, and they had loads left. So I just booked one. And I went in and I was like, look, I'm not gonna be pushed. I'm not gonna be pushed like I did the last time. I was really sort of determined. I didn't need to worry because the lady was just fantastic. We walked in and she was just like, hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm going to be talking you through stuff today. She was like, how do you want to do this? She said, do you want me to leave you alone? You have a look around and then I come and answer your questions? Or do you want to do it the other way around? We have a look at stuff and then I leave you alone. We did it that way. And this poor woman, she must have got out every single bloody pram in the store, to which there were loads, and all of the big brands, like every brand that we were thinking of was there, and then some. And they had a really great selection. And she was fab. She was like getting them all out. She was showing us how it all goes together, because obviously you got your car seat, you got a travel cot thing, then it turns into a stroller, then it folds down, then it was amazing. We must have spent like an hour, maybe an hour and a half in there trying out all these things, and it didn't feel pressury at all. Like, genuinely felt like we could have just walked out of there and gone, thank you so much, it was really helpful, see you later, bye. And we actually did do that. We went away and we had a cheeky McDonald's. Baby wanted a chicken sandwich, right? So we sat down and we had our McDonald's, and we were sat there and we just all kind of went, and Mum went, I think that's the travel system for you, isn't it? And we both looked at each other and we were like, I think it is. And there was just one that we just tried that as soon as we put our hands on it, we were like, oh, okay, I think this is it. And long story short, we went in and we bought our travel system. And I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, listen, so I had a little bit of a wobble at the till, and I was just like, look, am I jinxing this? To the lady, I said, I'm a bit concerned, blah, blah, blah. You know, we really wanted to wait until a 20-week scan, like next week, whatever, before we did this. Just, you know, there's no safe point in pregnancy, is there? There's absolutely no safe point, but I don't know, it just seems to be like that's the big milestone that we've got in our heads. And she was so kind, and she just said, look, we've got a really good aftercare policy. So if there's any reason that we need to cancel this, we can, because we're not having it until like early next year. We're just going to phone them and say, right, we're ready for it. Give them a couple of weeks notice. And she was like, look, if we need to cancel this at any point, we can do. There's no risk. You're absolutely fine. So we just went for it. We did it. We bought our travel system. We got the car seat. We've got the whole thing with the carry cot, everything. And I think we might have found our crib as well, the bedside crib. There's two that we're just sort of like choosing between, and we're just going to figure out which one we're going to go for. But I think we might have figured that out as well. So yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It feels like such a huge decision, because it is. It's a lot of money, and it's something you're going to be using every day for like 3-4 years. So yeah, it felt like a big decision. But at the same time, when we saw this one, we were just like, nah, this is it. It just felt, just gut feeling. To be honest, right, all of the big brands with their travel systems that kind of, you know, do everything with all the little bits and bobs. A bit of a muchness. They all kind of have the same features, or very similar features, the same attachments, and they fold down very neatly and amazing. And to be honest, you'd probably be great with pretty much any of them, right? It just sort of comes down to the ones that have the features that you're looking for or you think you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, you don't know. Like, it's really daunting to buy such an expensive and such a big purchase when you actually don't know really what you're going to want until you start using it, and then it's too late, you've already bought it. So you're going to get that with anything on you at any point. But yeah, I think they're all sort of much of a muchness. I think you'd be absolutely fine with all of them. It just comes down to what you think you're going to need, what you want, what you like the look of as well, because they all look very, very different. There were some really, really funky ones with some like amazing patterns and stuff, and then there's some like super streamlined ones that you can jog with. Did not go for one of those, would like to confirm. Not gonna be me. Didn't jog before I was pregnant, not gonna probably jog afterwards. But yeah, there seems like there's a travel system for everyone. And we just found one that felt right to us. So I will share more about that and tell you more about that later. It feels like this is like super early. But yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I don't want to say which one we got because the internet's the internet, isn't it? And I feel like it doesn't matter which pram or system you get, someone's going to have had one and not liked it, and they would really like to tell you about that. So we're really happy with our choice, and I don't want anyone to pop that little bubble, so I'm not going to tell anyone just yet, because I don't need to know that your mate had one and the wheel fell off or something. I think, you know, all of these brands, yes, there will be the occasional one that's a little bit dodge or whatever that you might need to go and get checked, but overall it's going to be fine. And I must admit, we did, like, Chris was so good, he did so much research into the car seats, and that was the main thing that we were sort of basing a lot of it around. Not in general, because obviously they're only going to be in that for a certain amount of time, and you might not want to always have that on the system, but we wanted a brand that was going to work with, like, that had car seats that were like top level safety. That was our ultimate priority with that kind of stuff. And the car seat is like uber safe, uber safe, like the best rating that you can get. And yeah, so yeah, we bought it. We just done it now. What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Yeah, we did it. So fingers crossed. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it's a win-win. That, like, there's no yeah, it's just a win-win. Like, if anything were to happen, or we were to change our mind in any way, because that's another thing we said to it. We said, look, let's be honest, Black Friday's coming up, whatever. Because the lady in the other shop made us feel like we should have bought a pram the day after we found out we were pregnant. She was like, you're already too late. Calm down. But yeah, I feel like, I was gonna say, oh yeah, we said, you know, Black Friday sales coming up. What do you think? And she was like, can I be really honest with you? This particular system is not going anywhere near the sales this year. I had the rep in last week and she was like, no. She was like, no, it's not going to happen. So realistically, this is, if you want this one, this is how much it's going to cost. So yeah, we just did it. Otherwise, we might have waited a little bit longer to see if there was anything in the sale, see if there's any good deals we could find. But then again, I suppose everybody's doing that, so then you run the risk of there being no stock, because some of them had like 3-month wait times and stuff. I just didn't realise. Like, when I got married, didn't realise that wedding dresses took like 6 months to make. Bridget sorted it out super fast, she was on it. But like, if I'd bought one, it can take like 6 to 8 months to make. That's bonkers. And that actually might be quick for some people. I think some of them might be like up to a year. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't realise there could be wait times on stuff, and yeah, we just weighed it all up and we just thought, nah, we're going for it. And it feels right, you know, like it feels good, and I'm excited about it, and I'm gonna feel really cool pushing it around. It was so strange pushing one. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I feel like a bit of an imposter. And seeing Chris push it, oh, I just like, oh, I teared up, honestly, I teared up. But yeah, cannot recommend Pram World enough. Genuinely, there's one in Stoke, there's one in Wigan, I think, family run business. They were just fantastic. They were amazing. She was so nice. She was just like, can I get you a bottle of water? The toilet's over there if you need to sit down. I'm like, I feel like a celebrity. Yeah, they were just great. So yeah, highly recommended for them. But yeah, that's it. Listen, I've been rabbiting on. We're having a right little catch up. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when we feel baby. We're gonna manifest it when we feel baby. When. And soon it will be out in the open. Soon the world will know. I'm a little bit nervous about that, but also excited because it's getting hard to hide this little bump now. So yeah, anyway, listen, have a fantastic week, and I will catch up with you next week, hopefully, or the week after, we'll see. Manifest baby movements, thank you.